This didn't stop players from trying. One player in particular changed the way co-ops were played. Sis Mimone. Unlike most co-op players, Mimone tried everything. And I mean everything. Starting from 2014 all the way through 2017, he would play a total of 26 co-ops, 22 which were co-op high rounds. During these 3 years, he would hold a total of 5 co-op high round world records at once.
Holy shit!
To put that in perspective, Black Ops 1 has 10 zombie maps. Yet Mimone was able to hold half of the co-op world records all at once. If that wasn't impressive enough, 3 of the 5 records are still being held 4 years later.
Wow.
One of which is 5. Unlike most co-ops, Mimone and his co-op partners slept 15 hours over the course of a 65-hour game.
Excuse me, what the fuck? What? How do you even, like, alive? See, this is the thing that I was thinking of. I want to have... I was thinking of doing this with Shino Numa, where... I don't know if this would be even allowed in speedrunning, but imagine if you did a co-op game, but you swapped it out. So you, like, swapped one person out so that the game would never have to pause. You would always just be in it. You know? I don't think anyone has ever done something like that to the point where it's like, you can always just keep playing a game. But I don't even know if something like that would even be allowed. Like a relay. Yeah, similar.
Which is a good amount of sleep. However, that means they played a total of 40 hours, which isn't a lot
like
if you
tag
want to optimize the
teams.
game.
That would be the only way I could imagine you could fix something like
this record is unimpressive. Achieved almost 6 years ago, this record is barely...
Yeah, you would have to meet up, right? But it's like, if someone were to ever do that, they would break every record possible if they had the right people.
Been close to beaten. Why? Well, unlike most maps which have some room to run around, 5 does not have that. Because of this, it is very easy to get trapped in a horde of zombies.
Room? 5? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's one weapon that every player uses on this map, the crossbow. Unlike most weapons which are used to kill 4 game points to activate a trap, this weapon acts as a distraction device. When shot, it will make all the zombies...
We missed the awful lot. Bring that man back.
Basically what I'm saying is, this weapon is used as a monkey bomb. If you don't know what a monkey bomb is, it's another distraction device. However, it lasts longer than the crossbow. Despite this, sometimes the game decides to break, and rather than the zombies ignoring you, they'll ignore the crossbow.
Oh no, I know how the zombies can fucking break you. I know that they do that shit all the time.
If you're thinking this is the only...
Bruh, that sucks. That sucks. That fucking sucks cock. Oh no! He did the Bowie knife because he super nice one. No. Dude, Black Ops 1 is notorious that. Essentially what this is, it's a glitch where if you switch your weapon and melee, and then melee again, you'll do a super nice one. Like, this is how people did glitches back in the day. But you can do it accidentally, right? Oh, man. Bro, that sucks. Oh, no. Oh, no, dude. This is pain.
What?
Throwing sandpits.
What the fuck?
This is fucking dead. Yeah, dude, don't call it dead officer nothing. Bro, I feel so bad for these guys. Cause it's like at that point, it's like literally fucking. What the fuck? Hello? Huh? What the fuck is going on?
You have to deal with the previous things I said, and you have to deal with team coordination while having extreme sleep deprivation. Now imagine if you were known 21 high-round co-op games and it will last at least 24 hours. Yeah, pretty insane if you ask me.
Oh shit.
That was in February of 2019. The known died due to natural causes. Rest in peace, man. You're an absolute legend. Well, we actually see, I think this is what separates zombies. What about a game where you can't sleep? No break, no zombies, no none of that. Welcome to Star Wars.
No, dude.
Unlike the other games,
World at War has got me crying, bro.
it does. In World at War, the zombie will respawn anywhere, even in Windows. The
Oh.
the zombie
Dude, World at War is so bad. It's just so broken.
tired and you need to take a break, you can't. If you attempt to take a break, the zombie will die within the next 5 minutes, ending the round. Thankfully, nobody has tried staying up for more than 24 hours during these co-ops. However, if 2 people were insane enough to stay up the entire time, it would prove deadly. And I'm not joking either.
No, absolutely not, dude. I wouldn't doubt you at all. Oh, holy. Oh my god. That's not even possible.
Of 160 hours. Yeah, there's still more. See, on World at War, the engine is very different compared to the other games. Because of
See, it comes to this point, chat, where you realize we're humans really designed to reach the maximum possible round on every single Call of Duty Zombies map, and I'm gonna just take a bold guess and say no.
this, glitches are more common compared
I'm
to
just gonna take a guess and say
fact,
no.
glitches and bugs. I wouldn't be able to list all of them. However, I'll list the most common glitches and bugs that occur.
Oh,
Number 1,
God.
sometimes the zombies will get stuck inside of you. And I literally mean stuck
World at
inside.
War, by the way, yep. They become you. Dude, he just had the shit that I had today. The tracer recall shit, man. What the fuck? Oh, dude. Oh my god, wait, what is even happening? What is... Oh, good god. Oh my god, wow, what a clutch. Holy shit. For people that don't understand that clip, in Deluxe, you get like a way more powerful juggernaut than World at War. It's not 5 days. It's like fucking like 30 or some shit.
However, when this target moves, it will kill your mate. And I'm being serious too. The zombie will not die out. So try to although the zombie usually dies out in the round. Number 3, one-hit kills. If you remember earlier, you saw some gameplay of the Rush where I was using before you could kill zombies in round 300. If you don't know, this weapon is not supposed to kill zombies this high up.
No, I think having 40 is pretty good. Not a bad.
Increasing 950 on round 9. Then, on round 10, the zombie's health increases 1.1% all the way up until round 162. Then on round 163, something weird happens. Remember the 32-bit history limit? Yeah. Starting at round 163, the zombie's health tries to go over this number, but it can't. Instead, the game resets the zombie's health all the way back to the original health they had in round 1.
Yeah, and I guess it's different because every map has that different round number for the single round, just as because it's a different design map with a different amount of enemies. It's so clutch.
Round 163.
Wait, it's so raw.
Then on
Yeah, you hit that limit of the enemies
zombie's
number.
health goes back to round 1, and repeats all the way up until round 188. Rather than alternating between rounds, the insta-kill rounds go by twos.
Yeah.
So it'll start from 188 and then 189. However, round 190 will not be an insta-kill round. But then round 191 will be.
Chat, you have to think, like, did Treyarch intentionally design this? There's literally no way. Like, I genuinely wonder, it's like, how the fuck is it that people figured this out? It's like, I'm assuming that the people that figured this out essentially just basically figured out the ins and out of the system. I don't think it was ever supposed to intentionally be like this.
And then round 192.
Like, it would be so interesting to ask Treyarch, like, what was the intentional round for this game mode, for this map, back in World War? That would be something, that would be a very interesting question.
However, this isn't what I was going to talk about. I just felt like explaining it to you so I don't forget later on in the video. Anyways, what I originally was going to talk about is the zombies want to kill me.
Oh,
Yeah, it sounds
bruh.
Distractions available in your AO.
What the hell is going on? Bruh.
Anyways,
Dude, that hurts. Oh
However,
my god.
I know what you're asking right now. How the hell is that guy in round 9,940?
Oh, we know. Yeah, we know.
Well, on World at War, 3 out of the 4 maps are 24 zombies a round, or 1 horde per round. On paper, this looks like the game is much easier than Black Ops 1. And yeah, you are right, it definitely is easier.
100%.
However, because these maps have 24 zombies around, it can get really boring. Like, so boring, people have to quit out their games because they couldn't have the endurance to continue. Let's talk about Black Ops 2 now for important.
168 hours. Oh my good god. What the fuck is this? Holy shit. See, and this is why I cap at round 100. This is why. This is really why. Why is this chat saying for him to crash? That's so lame. That's so lame.
Tom's been willing to attempt this record multiple times. And when I mean multiple times, I mean like 5 games with the last community or over 100 hours. To put that in perspective, that's over 500 plus hours counting those games. Realistically, he has over 1,500 to 2,000 hours on this map. Anyways, if we take a look at Tom's previous knocked record of around 250,
Bruh.
you can see he played over 211 hours over the course of 24 days. Sadly, he died 1 hour off the black screen. However, I think what's more impressive is the amount of hours he played per day during those 24 days. Remember earlier in the video when I said you need to average 12.2 hours every day to achieve a reset on this map? Well, he averaged over 8.6 hours per day. Not bad. However, this isn't his most impressive.
That's like your whole waking day.
In his 197 games, he played an average of 15 hours per day over the course of 8 days. If you thought that wasn't impressive enough, he did 46 hours a day. Not bad. But when the strongest trading is just extremely repetitive on this map. Every time a gameplay alone, you'd probably agree this could be really
Yeah, that sounds right. Holy fuck.
over. Hell, this isn't the end. There's another player.
I don't even know what to say.
Fighting zombies team. He currently has the longest zombies game ever. If you take a look at the 269 record, he played a total of 232 hours, averaging 9.5 hours per day. Hell, to make it more impressive, he played this game while he had work, sometimes going from 2 hours of playtime one day and 15 plus hours the next day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's some serious dedication.
That's a grinder right there.
Let's just follow him on Twitter as he's pretty talented and extremely talented. also suggest following other players I have.
Yeah, chat. I know everyone's asking me to link this shit. Check out the whole stuff as well. I'm gonna talk it out. Like, this is exactly what it is. Like, these guys use that one word. Like, that's fucking insane, bro. I can't even imagine. Wow.
Anyways, at this point in the video, I would move on to the next topic, but there are 3 more players I would like to introduce.
Holy. Did people say that this is bad now? Is that what we're hearing? Because I remember, like, before Cold War came out, that the fast ray gun glitch was acceptable. But now it's
You're
not.
done 5 times faster than it normally could.
It's bad?
The reason the community is divided on this subject.
Bruh.
Number 1, you can do fast ray manually without any macros. Number 2, Fur saved approximately 15 minutes by using fast ray in his Ascension game. However,
That's still significant,
fast
though.
ray have said it hasn't made much of a difference in his game, and rightfully so.
Well, I
Even if
guess.
Fur didn't use fast ray, he played at a speed around 240, which is above the technical current record. However, people who are against fast ray have argued 15 minutes can make a big difference, and that is true as
See,
well.
that's what I'm saying. Like, everything counts in the speed. Yeah, milliseconds count, you know?
So you need to allow your record. He reset 1 minute after he reset. Had he rolled on this skill, he wouldn't have reset. Didn't make it to the health bar. On some maps, using the health bar can give you a big advantage. For example, on Shangri-La, the baby zombies deal about 5 damage compared to a normal zombie which deals 60 damage. This can be really helpful to know when you're about to die.
Oh, and so it was essentially like a mod.
Whatever I just trust with the base. But that's
What is it? Is it really up for debate though? Like, you still put in the hours. I don't know. I feel like people saying that are kind of fucking whack. Like, come on.
It's been on most games that have been on pace at high for its 40 game, and some that have been faster than for its game. Speaking of being fast, let's talk about Fire Room and Slayer.
That's wild. It's funny because it's like
This thing off the cliff.
having a health bar isn't considered legit in like BO1 or World at War. Look at Cold War. Look at Black Ops 4. Like, isn't that funny? I think that's just funny. I don't know. There's something with that. Please help me. Please help me, good sir. Please. Man's going for a swim up on that top right corner. Man's going for the deep water dive.
First, let's talk about Fire Room. Despite not being the best at most maps, there's one map with mastery, Ascension. Like most players,
It's gotta be the best.
however, I think what makes him stand out for one of is round speed. If you don't know, round speedruns are a bit different than high rounds. High rounds focus on playing as fast as possible to reset so you can achieve the
I love the F's on the Thunder Gun, dude. I didn't even realize that.
As fast as possible to a specific
I love
round.
that.
Because these speedruns exist, players will remove certain parts of a setup to achieve a faster time. Obviously this depends on the map and which round they plan on speedrunning. Anyways, the reason I'm mentioning Fire Rim is due to his insane times on Ascension. However, I want to focus on Fire Rim's 100 speedrun on Ascension. On paper, this record doesn't look impressive at all if you don't know much or anything about the game.
Or if you compare it to Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 around 100 speedruns, which are literally a fucking joke. Like, Ogden will like 90 minutes around 100 if you get lucky enough, so.
If you don't know much or anything about this game, but that doesn't mean most of you watching don't, I want you to listen very carefully to what I am going to say. When this game launched, Nobody reached round 100 until February 10th of 2011.
Wow.
9 days after Ascension DLC was released.
Oh,
It wasn't until 5 years later the first ever sub 7-hour round 100 happened on Ascension. From 2016 all the way to 2020,
It's wild, it only took like
people
a
made
week.
the chance of a sub 6-hour 100. As the 100 speedrun got so optimized, the chances of someone getting a sub 6-hour 100 was almost zero. Even until the end of 2020, people dreamed the possibility of a sub 6-hour 100. But then, on September 20th, the impossible happened.
Wow. Dude, I respect motherfuckers that go for round speedruns, like round 50 speedruns. Those guys, if you ever watch those speedrun videos, they are fucking so efficient. It's like literally they're doing more progressive work in a fucking zombies game than I've done in my whole entire life. You know what I mean? That's how fucking efficient they are. It's actually unbelievable. Wow, but he just hit it at 5:58. Whew.
Yes!
Sheesh.
Let's fucking go! Yes!
Bruh, I would feel this after 6 hours, dude. God
Finally,
damn.
after 10 years since Black Ops was released, Fire Rim achieved a sub 6 round 100.
Clappers in the chat,
If you
dude.
thought this was the end, you're
Clappers
wrong.
in the chat.
Theoretically speaking, a 5-hour and 30-minute round 100 could be achieved. Although the luck you would need to achieve a time like that would be insane. Despite the sub 6-hour round 100, there's one more player I'd like to introduce. Slayer. In my opinion, Slayer is the fastest player in the zombies community, and a good portion of the community would agree. Despite not holding a lot of high round world records, the amount of speedruns he has is insane. He currently
That's what
holds
I'm
the
saying.
Keynote Toe in round 100 speedrun, round 163 speedrun, the Direct round 100 speedrun, and the Ascension round 163 speedrun, and countless of other speedruns that are world records or
Yeesh.
second place. To put that in
Those are
perspective,
big numbers.
Slayer is competing against countless of other players.
250 today? Oh shit, let's go, homie. Good job, dude. Bro, like these are the guys that deserve the credit, bro. I'll tell you that. Like these guys are fucking absolutely insane. It's just like, you know, it's funny because it's like it does take 11 hours plus to reach like around 100 on like Verrucht, whatever, right? But it's like, that's only the 11 hours that you see, dude. You don't even see anything else that's been brought up to that point, you know?
World record.
It's
on
insane.
Maybe 1 to 2 maps.
It's genuinely
Yet
insanity.
he is able to hold multiple speedrun world records or stay in second place on almost every map he plays. To add on top of that, he has multiple games that have been on pace for
Dude,
a
those
sub
camels
6-hour
look
round
fucking
100.
incredible.
However,
I want that.
remember earlier, it requires insane luck to achieve a sub 6-hour round 100. Sadly, Slayer hasn't been lucky enough to achieve such a record, but still, the pace of his game...
Where does the mystery box luck go to? Does it go to that fucking child that loads up Black Ops 1 once every like 9 weeks and then he gets the fucking Wonderwall 4 times in a row? Like, where does the luck go to?
are
Where does it
insane,
go?
even with bad luck. Hell, if it wasn't impressive enough, he has multiple co-op high rounds which have been on pace to blow the previous world records out of the water, one of which is around 172 Keynote to Toe co-op world record. Slayer and Furret beat the previous world record by over 14 rounds. Due to the fact they slept less than the previous world record holders. However, what's more impressive is how much faster they played than the previous world record. 6 hours faster.
Holy shit.
However, achieving records like these are far from sunshine and rainbows. Even the most dedicated players struggle. However, that doesn't mean you should give up. Failing is a part of success, and that shouldn't stop you. Thanks
That's
for
true.
watching. and have a
That's
good
true.
rest of your day.
That is true. That's a great message. Complacency comes with success, so you gotta keep on striving, man. God dang, let's go. I can't hear. I can't hear. Oh my god. Oh my.
What?
Oh my god, that's classic, dude. That's classic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the horror of World at War Zombies by Exceptional Gamer. Absolute legend.
Well everybody, today is a special kind of zombies video, and since it is Halloween, I wanted to take a look at the more spookier side of COD Zombies. Because yes, whilst it definitely can be creepy at times, it is nowhere near as horror orientated as it used to be. And we're not just going to be looking back at a few COD Zombies games, we're going to be diving right into the heart of it and looking at the roots where zombies horror was at its finest, and this was the first zombies game I ever played, as well as the first zombies mode ever made for any Call of Duty game. We're going to be delving into what made World at War Zombies so scary. We'll be going map by map, and it should be a pretty spooky experience just in time for Halloween. The zombies community...
I'm gonna be honest, a lot of this is due to the 2008 type of renders and the way society was back then, that I just don't think we'll ever get to that same level of fear.
Whilst having very different opinions on zombies maps and all these weapons and what the best wonder weapon is, best perk, everyone, or at least the majority, can come together and say that World at War Zombies is hands down, no cap, the scariest zombies mode we have experienced to date. And I remember playing this when I was younger, and it really is quite a spooky ride even today. I'm 19 now, and a lot of this stuff is still pretty ominous to me, but that's how good World at War Zombies really was. And I never usually say stuff like this at the beginning of a video, but I just want to say, if this kind of content is something you want to see more of, then please do give the video a like. If you
This game is really unique in that aspect, that World at War Zombies is still to this day the scariest game, even more scary than the games they tried to make scary, like World War II Zombies back in 2017, but
or enjoying the video, because I like making stuff like this every once in a while, and it'd be a good way to tell me if you would want to see more of this kind of content. But anyways, with that aside, grab a nice hot drink, get all cozied up, because we're about to dive into the horrors of World at War Zombies.
Let's get it. Knocked, yes, the OG. I know, right from the spawn it gets you freaked out. As a 10-year-old kid playing this, bro, I was free.
Knocked Dirt on Toten was the first zombies map that we were ever given. Now we're going to start with the cutscene, and the cutscene is very eerie and overall a great and effective way to convey to the player just how hopeless they really are. You can
And remember, people got to this point right at the end of the World at War campaign, and so to be here and to be like, oh bro, did I die or whatnot, is like such an ominous
feeling. In the intro that you are in the middle of nowhere, and when you spawn into the map, if you look through the windows where the barriers are, you will see absolutely nothing. No landmarks, no points of...
The fog is really effective on Knock to make it more scary. I feel like if there's no fog, people would not have the same feeling.
Just nothingness for miles and miles.
That's really what Knock is.
Fog. And that feeling of isolation will set in even more. This feeling of desperation is something we will see in other World at War maps. Since you spawned in and looked out the windows,
I mean, for rough especially.
By now, I'm sure you'll see the decrepit-looking zombies slowly emerging from there, shambling and limping, stopping at nothing to get you. It's
funny how when we first started playing zombies, that was scary, but now as you're playing zombies, like trying to get high rounds and whatnot, that is sort of seen as like a bad aspect of the map, that it takes so long for the zombies to get inside the map.
It's a creepy feeling, and can I just quickly say, before even getting into any of this, even the main menu of World at War that you go to select zombies in is just a really spooky atmosphere. It's one that sent shivers down my spine, and still does.
I know, just the music, man. You'll never get a COD as realistic as this game. This was like true fear of war type game. Crazy menu.
See what I mean? Now here's what I like about Knocked. It's pretty slow, and if you're just wanting to get into zombies, it can be a little boring. But if you're going in for the horror experience, and when I first played this, seeing those zombies take their time to come towards you, but they definitely will not be stopped, always used to really build suspense for me, like seeing them just slowly coming from all around, and the anticipation of when they would get there, it just helped make this feeling of...
Especially when you're not playing zombies a lot or you're new to zombies, Noct is such a great introduction, because it was all of our introductions at one point.
Of the danger you were in, and that there was no way out. And since when I first played zombies back then in World of War, I didn't have many other maps to compare it to. It was nothing like it was now. In terms of the chills, it definitely gave me a run for my money at the time, but I do think that it is objectively just hard to disagree that the idea of these Nazi zombies coming towards you slowly but surely is just a very unnerving feeling. When you finish the campaign,
it really gives you that Silent Hill feeling where it's like you see these zombies coming out of the fog, and like how they come out of these just extremely tight small windows, and also how Noct is made off of a bunker off this area called Peleliu Island, which is just some random place in the middle of the world during World War II. So it's got a bunch of freaky aspects that tie in video gaming and real life.
Zombies was unlocked and Noct was playable. And this just always used to creep me out when I was younger and on the main menu and everything, because it really made you feel like you uncovered some sort of dark secret within the game. And I just love that kind of attention to detail, whether that's a deliberate thing.
And it's partly realistic, which is what adds so much to it in my opinion as well.
Or not. I think this was actually because of zombies being a new concept at the time, and because it was so fun, Treyarch didn't want players going straight to zombies and not playing campaign or multiplayer, so they initially just left it as a little Easter egg first. I think it's just one of those really cool, creepy little secrets. But anyway, back to the map itself. You only spawn in with a 1911 pistol, and these zombies that are making their way towards you are only going to keep coming as the rounds progress, so you need to be scarce with your ammo, or knife them on round 1 if you have that Sigma energy. One thing that always does freak me out about Nocturne Toten is how...
that's how you know you're in true fear.
The map is near silent, and the only other noises that you can really hear are the groans of the undead, and then the barriers behind you slowly being torn apart.
See, this is the thing. It was silent not because it was a lack of content, but because that was the ambience that it wanted to set. The silence actually adds to the map rather than detracting from it, which is like something you just really don't see, in my opinion, with current day Treyarch. Like, it's either there or it isn't nowadays. And the round change. Bro, I know, right? Like, as a new player, just like, what the frick is going on? Why am I hearing these random sounds? Just like the ambience as well. Like, it sounds like there's like ghosts.
Safe to say, it sets up an all hope is gone, there is no escape type of feel, and it really hammers it home with all of this stuff, amping up that spook scale. One thing that Noct is known for is that there isn't much to help you either. Once you get past the help door, which is pretty chilling in and of itself due to how jagged the graffiti is, there's a mystery box there, but that's it. Here are some decent weapons.
And the hands just everywhere as well. And then also, it's funny because the best weapon in Noct is the flamethrower, and that's like such just like a strange little callback to being like, bro, the best weapon is how you set them all on fire.
They aren't super strong and will become useless very soon. Survive. I also think that the drab, desaturated colours of Noct, and also World of War as a whole, add to the grizzled and decaying atmosphere of this and other maps. It's run down and...
It really makes it feel like you got teleported to some random place and all you have is just a random box of weapons to help you survive.
Broken structures really show that like this is completely destroyed
like
and abandoned, a ghost of its former self. And I think the fact that this place is so destroyed and so obliterated, making it hard to tell what the location you're actually at is, gives it this ambiguity which I just find interesting as well. I always found that the dog that would bark on the map used to throw me off guard a lot the first few times I would play. It was this dog barking noise. You couldn't actually see a dog, but you would hear it every, I think it was about round 5 to 7ish, which is conveniently roughly around the point where hellhounds would spawn on other zombies maps. Always used to put me in this state of thinking there was some something out there, like there was something that was gonna come into the map, and it wasn't the Hitler boss.
I know, right?
I think
Yeah,
this
but
is a
just like all those random noises, like that's what freaks you out. That's what makes you think. And I think those random noises literally help shape the actual lore of what this game was later going to be about in the next game, being Black Ops 1.
pretty good subtle teaser, whether this was deliberate or not, for Hellhounds nonetheless. And
Probably.
so Nocturne Toten, whilst being very
The
base,
sound team is really what made original Zombies, and that's why I say Treyarch's sound team stays on top. Even in MW3, the sounds that they're putting in those games is just next level. They are probably the best gaming sound studio I've ever personally experienced.
gave us a real thrill ride for a first Zombies map. There's no denying it, this is one of the scariest Zombies maps ever because of just
100%.
how bare bones, mysterious, and decrepit everything
It's
is.
really like
Seeing
a
the zombies
silent
come in
zombie
gives you
map.
the hopeless feel, and whilst other Zombies maps do nail this, I think that Nacht is one of the best examples of feeling like there is nothing you can do at all.
Like, Noct really feels like something out of a Resident Evil game as well. That's why it has that, like, genuine horror tie in. It really doesn't feel like a Call of Duty product. Like, every single pause frame you can see in the zombies looks horrifying in Noct.
It just makes the zombies feel really scary. It truly is the perfect place to cling to dear life with Nazi zombies coming for you. But there's no way there can be a scarier map, right? Let alone the map straight after this one. There's no way it can get even scarier, right?
Probably the scariest
Very,
map.
very wrong. The next map we are going to be looking at is
The scariest map there ever was. Still to this day.
is arguably the most ominous and scariest map in all of Zombies history. And for good reason. So this really starts with, once again, that isolated...
Like, think about it. This is the first actual building map we have in Zombies. And it's a literal asylum. Like, they want you to be in a lockdown, crazy arena. That was what Round Base was. Confinement, you know? Being sort of locked in a sanatorium, literally.
feeling, but one of the smartest mechanics of Verrucht is that if you have brought friends along with you upon spawning into the map, you will spawn in different areas of the map,
That was
completely
also
segregated and
at the
split into twos,
Yes,
and then
you didn't know
separated
that.
by a door which can only be opened by turning on the power,
By
meaning that
eating the
before you
whole
get
map.
your perks and any decent weapons really, Verrucht forces you to split up when you are at your most vulnerable, and this even now will make anyone feel way more insecure and
Such a great mechanic that I honestly wish they would have brought back into Zombies. They've only ever brought it back on one non-Treyarch Zombies map, being Carrier, and it just doesn't feel the same when you have exosuits. So, like, please, I would love for COD 2024 to bring back another Zombies map where they split the players off spawn. That is such a strong idea for COD Zombies.
vulnerable whilst playing this map. Verrucht doesn't aim to let you settle into a comfortable match of zombies. It tries its hardest to make you feel really uneasy and on edge. And believe me, it does succeed. Verrucht is set in an abandoned asylum in which Nazi scientists, or in the terms of story here, Group 935, were conducting horrific experiments on presumably its patients. And whilst this on its own is really creepy, the icing on this cake here, and something that never fails to give me chills and scare me completely shitless, are the screams of what we can only assume were these patients.
The victims. And the other thing is, like, there's, like, kids screaming, dog. And, like, women and all sorts of different people. There's, like, a dead fish chair as well. So that's what makes it, it's really visceral. Like, it's actually real, whereas, like, in these newer games, they try and sort of, like, tone down the horror. Like, they keep it PG-13. Nah, Verrucht had absolutely no chill, bro. Like, just listen to this. Bro's dead. Why is that near the showers as well?
They sound horrible, and there is so much pain and desperation
Treyarch, how did you record those sounds? Literally.
in these screams. It really is chilling and plays into that ominous feeling that the map brings. You can even hear a baby very faintly crying if you go to these body
That's
lockers.
what I'm saying, bro. That's where it's like, bro, it's getting really morbid. Like, 2023 would never, bro. That's not right.
Another
Trey,
creepy
what's
Easter
going
egg
on?
on this map is that you can interact with this drill at the dentist chair. It is completely covered in blood, in fact the whole room is. Upon doing so, you will hear the drill make a really violent screech and a man scream in agony.
Probably the most iconic sound Easter egg. Like, a lot of people who play Varrock know this Easter egg.
This one did not need to be in the map at
No.
all.
And
And
they
this
put it right
really
at the top.
synergizes with the already bad feeling you have that something was and is terribly wrong here. You know, besides the Nazi zombies that are trying to kill you, it's safe to say the first time I experienced that,
It's weird
put my-
because usually zombies bite, right? And there's never an instance really in God Zombies where they actually bite you in game. It's always they slap you in this game. So in all honesty, it's pretty funny. Like, you can't really have horror in a COD Zombies game because of that one mechanic.
my brain in a
But it's
state of
hilarious.
terror. But Treyarch 100% knew what they were doing when they added these little Easter eggs around the map. And one of the scariest things on Baroque has to be the carnival music, which used to freak me out
Oh, I
so
know,
bad, and
bro.
still does to this very day. It's pretty hard to hear in game, but when you do, it really is awful. Especially keeping in mind that a lot of mentally ill patients were experimented on by Nazi scientists, and then there's just this seemingly innocent song, and it is so out of place, and over this, you can hear the screams of people in the map. Listening to it will give you a very haunting chill. I'll play it for you now.
I just don't like that. Too freaky.
On the power switch,
Yeah, like,
there
I just don't like the way it, like, comes in and out and, like...
is an arm just
It's just
there
too
on it.
freaky.
And storybooks will know that this is the Mad Lad Peter McCain's arm. This is a very subtle but effective indicator that you are not the first one to try and stay alive in this.
Like, Zombies is so interesting, the fact that there were so little gameplay aspects that because they were slightly swapped, or like you could turn on power in one map, or you can see something, like the lore really caught on with players, and that's why I think the story was so successful initially. But now they don't really do that type of stuff. Like, you have like a Warzone map now. How are you supposed to find Easter eggs in such a big map, you know?
The room literally next to this place is the room of what is presumed to be a mad scientist, littered with scribbles of someone who clearly
I
has
know,
gone
this
off the
room
deep
is
end, as well as a
freaky.
butcher's table with blood
With a
everywhere
knife?
and a long cleaver
I
stuck
know.
into it. And the not so subtle implication here is that this obviously isn't livestock blood. And speaking of blood,
Yep.
there is literally blood, bloody handprints, and so much gore in general everywhere on this map. Any room you go in is guaranteed to be drenched in it. On a later round, you'll encounter what are known as Verrucht Sprinters, which are the fastest zombies ever. They alone are enough to put anyone on edge with how fast they actually move and the way they do so, and are definitely not suited for a map.
Well, this is the other thing. They didn't mocap this in the studio. Motion capture wasn't a thing during this point when this game came out in 2008, and so it makes me wonder, like, how did they get those animations? Like, did they actually just do them by hand? It's freaky looking at them too, because they don't look normal, and I think that's what adds to like the freakiness.
Like
aspect.
Verrucht, which really adds to the horror there. They run way too fast for the tight, narrow hallways
I
of the
know,
asylum,
right?
making encounters with these trigger that fight or flight reaction. The last pretty scary thing in Verrucht are the mannequins on the map. I hate mannequins. They just trigger that uncanny valley response in my brain, and for those that don't know, the uncanny
They're definitely worse on this map than in Kino.
Valley
That's
is
for
where
sure.
humans just seem to get uncomfortable when something looks human but is slightly off, with mannequins being the best example of this. Here are a few examples of the Uncanny Valley. Just
bro, the Attack on Titan as Mark Zuckerberg.
judge for yourself. Some people are more affected by this than others, but I
That's
hate
so
it
funny.
personally, and I think no matter who you are, it can throw you off guard a little. But yeah, I still hate mannequins. But
Yeah,
overall, Verrucht just has a scary. One scary setting as a whole. I mean, an abandoned asylum that turned into a Group 935 Nazi experimentation facility. Like, that's just pretty creepy on its own. And the place just looks so run down. It looks like one of those places you would see on YouTube of like people exploring abandoned buildings.
I
They did
know,
a
that's
real